If quarantine has got you down, tune in for another round of Missy Music Class.
Hey guys, welcome back to another week of Music with Miss C. I'm super excited today. We're on another field trip because we're going to talk about an amazing instrument today, the organ. Now, we don't often get to talk a lot about the organ in class because we don't have one. And so I thought, why not today take a quick field trip to show you some amazing things that this organ can do. Now, let me talk to you a little bit about the very first organ. The concept of the organ dates back to an instrument that was called the hydraulis, which was invented in ancient Greece in the 3rd century. A hydraulis was a mechanical instrument in which the wind pressure is regulated by water pressure. Now, by the 17th century, bellows replaced the water pressure to supply the organ with wind. The organ didn't begin making its way into churches until approximately 900 AD. Many people today associate organs with a church setting. However, during the 1100 years before the organ was used at church, it was played at banquets, games, and circuses. The organ was the most complex machine invented before the Industrial Revolution. Now, while the organ has been essential to classical music for centuries, it was not introduced into the orchestra until much later, in the latter half of the 19th century. This was possible because the organ makers began to build instruments in concert halls and other large venues. Camille Saint-Saëns' Symphony No. 3, also known as the Organ Symphony, was one of the first and most famous works composed for an orchestra with organ. Now, some of the largest pipe organs ever built, they're based on the number of pipes located within the organ. And in a little bit, we're going to let you look at the pipes. Now, the largest one, amazingly, is at the Boardwalk Hall Auditorium in Atlantic City in New Jersey. It was built between 1929 and 1932, and it consists of 33,114 pipes and weighs roughly 150 tons. Sadly, this organ is no longer operational. Now, let me show you a little bit about what this particular organ can do. Now, this particular organ is a Reuter organ, which means it was made in Germany, that brand of organ. And it was placed here in the sanctuary. This is where at First Baptist Church of Noonan. And this organ was placed back in 1968. So let's do the math. If it was placed in 1968, how old would it be? Can you think? Yes, 52. It's 52 years old. Now there are, you can see it's got keys on it just like a piano does, right? That looks familiar to you. But there are 54 ranks. Now those 54 ranks are represented by these stoppers here. See how easily you can pull those out, and when an organist is playing, they're constantly, switching out if they want some different instrument sounds. Now the 54 ranks each are connected to 61 pipes, which means you can have 61 pitches. They each have their own timbre. We'll talk a little bit more about the pipes when we take a look at the pipes. But let's listen to a little bit of how this sounds, right? Okay, so I'm going to go over here and I'm going to pull the trumpet stop. Okay, so very easily, and they glide real smooth. You pull that out, okay? Let's give a little listen. Now, does that sound like a trumpet? No, it does not sound like a trumpet because I did not do something correctly. Now, I have to press my, crescendo pedal. Now, if you notice down here, there are 3 pedals here, all right? And I'm going to put my foot on the crescendo pedal, all right? So if I'm playing up here, I can make it louder. All right, so let's talk a little bit about what's happening down here with your feet. Okay, now you notice I do not have on the correct organ shoes. They wear little black shoes that helps. That are thin, so you can play the individual notes. All right, but let me pull here. This is the pedal. I'm gonna open up that stopper, and you can hear what it sounds like. Listen to how low it can get, and that low sound. All right. So when you are playing all together, you can hear the sounds that the organ can make. It is limitless. Really, I mean, it just has a whole bunch of possibilities of different sounds that you can make. Now, this particular organ, 5 years ago, was redone. The console, which is what all this is called, was redone by an Atlanta company, the Schuler, Allen Schlater Company, actually redid this console, and they put in a digital aspect right here. If you can see that, all right, a digital MIDI box there. They added a lot of different sounds, and what it did was, instead of having a whole bunch of different connectors that go to the different pipes, it allows one big connector to go to the pipes, and so it makes it have a digital console. So it gives you a lot more possibilities with that as well. All right, so let's see here. I think that we need to go take a look at the pipes. Let's go check out the pipes. Hey guys, welcome to the pipe room. Check out these pipes. As you can see, there are tons of different sizes of pipes that are hooked to the organ. Now remember, a while ago, I talked to you about the largest organ. Now the largest operational organ is actually the Wanamaker Grand Court organ, which is in a department store in Philadelphia. It is now owned by Macy's. It is second to the Boardwalk Hall organ in the number of pipes. It has 28,677 pipes. However, it has the greatest weight of any organ in the world and weighs 287 tons. It is still performed twice daily in Macy's, Monday through Saturday. That's amazing. Now, the largest organ in a church is located at the Cadet Chapel of the United States Military Academy at West Point. It was built in 1911, and it contains 23,500 pipes and weighs 124 tons. It has been played for over 300 years. Which is surprising because they've only actually had 4 organists during that time. Now this organ here at First Baptist has 3,294 pipes. Now they range from about 2 inches high to about 16 feet high. So quite a big range of the different sizes of the pipes. It's amazing to see, isn't it? Did you check out those little bitty tiny ones over there? Those are so neat. But if you see, I mean, they're huge, way taller than me. This is what is needed to make the organ work. And you can hear, it's really loud in here when the organ is being played. Let's go back down and check out of the console of the organ. Now, I told you that someone that plays an organ is called an organist. Do you know who probably is considered the most famous organist of all time? That's right, Bach. We've studied Bach, haven't we? Handel was also a great organist. We talked a lot about him this year, and he wrote Handel's Messiah. He used the organ to help him create that work of music. And so there are some great pieces of music that are designed just for the organ and were created on the organ that we listen to even today. Now, one thing we're not mentioning, haven't mentioned yet, because we've talked about this organ which is located in a church. But remember earlier I told you that they use the organ at circuses and big events. Where's some place that you've heard the organ play that's not a church? Here's a clue. That's right. Keep going, Abby. The organ has been used at baseball games, basketball games, ice hockey games in the United States and in Canada. The Chicago Cubs were the first team to put the organ and use it during their games. And so during the games, they would have a full-time organist that played at the games. In the 1990s, baseball teams took out the organs and started using recorded music. But the fans didn't like it. They liked having a real organ. So I believe it was in 2009, the Atlanta Braves brought back the organ at Turner Field, and they use a real organ today. I hope that you have really enjoyed us taking a look at the organ. It has many facets to it. It's an amazing, intricate instrument. Not a lot of people play the organ, so I highly recommend. After you've taken piano for a while, it's a great transition to go over to the organ. We need lots of organists, and it is a great instrument to be able to play. All right, so as we close out today, I hope that you are well, that you stay safe and strong, and Abby Rose is going to play us out today with a song that I think you're going to recognize. Have a great week, and until next time, keep making music, and I'll see you next week. Bye, guys.